I'm a person in long-term recovery, and what that means to me is that I have 12 years and about 9 months clean and sober, and in recovery from mental health as well as a substance use. During that time, I have also had 5 children. One that was not drug exposed. My other 4 children were drug exposed babies. I am the baby of the family. Went to Catholic grade school and was an honor student, loved education until one day when I was welcome to the world of addiction and crack cocaine. But before then, I guess I started out by using weed, marijuana, and they called them black beauties back then. Well, I had my first daughter at 18. Lovely child, but she was premature. Not really ready for a baby, but in love with the guy and thinking love will hold, this baby will hold our love relationship together. But it wasn't that way for him as I was in love with him. And so that baby became my mother and my father's child. And so I continued on in the streets and partying, a life of partying and going out, you know. And they very well took care of my kid. And I went on to be introduced to crack cocaine by a friend. I began indulging in that, and it was so plentiful, I guess, that my addiction or tolerance just went phew, because her man was a dope man and it was plentiful. She stole from him. My sister was stealing from her boyfriend who sold cocaine, and so it was just skyrocketing off. My sister always like shoplifted, but then that became a habit of mine because that's how I took care of my addiction, as well as kind of trying to live throughout them days of spending up my TANF check or spending all my food stamps or selling them all and not having no food or money for my kids. So then I would go shoplift for food or whatever I had to try to make up for. But most of the time it was for my drug addiction. So that took me in and out of the county jail a lot, the city system. But that's when I began to get introduced to the judicial system. And so that took me a long way. I done a couple of stints of Kramer treatment, which is and you go through prison, and to go to treatment. I think I done 120 days one time, and I thought that maybe this was it. Not knowing really that addiction has such a great bond on a person, or like, okay, I'm done with this. I really don't want to do it anymore, only to do it again after I came out of treatment that time. And I was always on probation, but I could never complete probation because one minute I'm clean. I think my longest stint of being clean was like 2 years. So I was clean 2 years, and was like questioning myself. Oh, I wonder what just one to be like. That addiction just took me down many roads that I never thought that I'd go down. As a, a Catholic school person and a person that was, really wasn't around all this, but I guess was introduced to it within this little world that I began to know as a using world and what was going on. And prostitution, this is what they do, shoplifting, robbing people. That introduced me to a lot of other things that I never thought I would do. My last bit was in 2004, April 6th. I went to Vandalia Women's Prison for a 7-year sentence for shoplifting again. And I done 30 months that time, which was an eye opener for me. I had never really done that substantial amount of time at one time, and but that was really a gut puncher for me. I stayed in addiction about 15 years. Never thought that I'd see out. Never thought that I would recover from any of the mess that I had, or any of the trauma, I'm going to call it, not mess, but any of the trauma that I had endured while I was out there, being beat, raped, never thinking that that would happen to me.